Good afternoon. Welcome to my presentation. First, let me to introduce myself. I'm Sohrab Hejazi. I work at university, the Dresden University of Technology and University Hospital in Dresden, Germany. Actually, I'm a research assistant, but I'm a developer too, a typical developer. The topic of presentation is MAP-FHIR to OMOP Common Data Model. During this presentation, I will tell you about the OMOP Miracle project or semantic and syntactic mapping, limitation problems during this mapping, and finally, I will tell you about the Miracle project, which we work on. Okay, you can see here our data flow diagram. In our university, we have clinical data warehouse. A lot of data about the patient and diagnosis and so on. We want to convert them to these data models, Transmart, OMOP, Extract, I2B2, and so on. We can directly convert them to OMOP, but we made decision to use an intermediate platform like FHIR, because at the moment, 10 hospital universities in Germany work on this project, Miracle project, and they have different data warehouse. The format of data is totally different. And when we want to convert directly to OMOP our data, we need 10 different tools. But with this solution, using FHIR as an intermediate platform, we have very good and huge platform like FHIR. We can save almost all data in the FHIR, and after that, we need just one tool to convert FHIR to OMOP. But what is OMOP? OMOP is the Observational Medical Outcomes Partnership. Actually, it is a common data model. It brings data into a common format as well as a common terminologies. When we transfer our data to the OMOP, we can use analytics tools to analyze our data. OMOP has 6 different major components in different color. Oh, excuse me. The main component is that vocabulary, because OMOP is concept-centric, and for every concept, we have a concept ID in OMOP. The concept from SDOM, from ICD-10, from ICD German, and so on. We can find the concept ID here, and we can use these concept IDs in our project. But semantic mapping, what we want to do? We want to convert these resources in FHIR to OMOP tables. The first one is patient. Patient is converted to person and location. In patient resource, we have address field, address item or address element. But in OMOP, we don't have any field for address. We have to use location table for this purpose. We converted condition to condition occurrence and fact relationship. Actually, condition could be converted directly to condition occurrence, but we use fact relationship because in German clinical data, we have primary and secondary diagnosis. And relationship between them, we can show it fact relationship. Procedure converted to procedure occurrence, encounter direct to visit occurrence, and observation to measurement and observation. Why? Because in FHIR, unfortunately, we have just one resource, observation resource, for both lab data and observational data. But in OMOP, we have measurement table for laboratory data and observation for other observational data like blood pressure, body temperature, and so on. To develop these tools, we used Java 12, HAPI-FHIR library version 3.8, FHIR version 3 and 4, and OMOP version 5.2.2. We use the OMOP version 5.2.2 because Atlas supports this version. The version 6 is not supported. I want to show you a sample of our mapping, just one of them. It is a mapping patient resource to person table. As you see, we can use birthday in FHIR resource for year of birth, month of birth, day of birth, and birthday time. Or address to be mapped to location table. We don't have any field in the OMOP table for address. I told you earlier. And the ID of patient, person source value. The significance of this is gender display. We can save it directly in gender source value. But to find gender concept ID, we use ConceptMap. For example, for male, female, there are different codes in concept table in OMOP. And with the lookup, we can find them. Please. OK. Let me move on to difference and limitation for mapping. During this mapping, we had a lot of problems, a lot of limitation. We have to make decision for this limitation. For example, the first one, some fields in OMOP are mandatory, but the relevant items in FHIR are optional. They are not mandatory. Here, birth date is optional, but in OMOP, year of birth is mandatory, just year of birth. For this purpose, we use a default value. For example, January 1st, 1800 year. And we save 1800 year in year of birth. Our goal is research. We collect data, we save data, we manipulate data just for research. Using a default value is not good. Sometimes we have to ignore a resource because in source data, in the data in our data warehouse, sometimes we don't have any item, any value for birthday of patient. On the other hand, sometimes we have year of birth for a patient, but we don't have months of birth and day of birth. Therefore, we create a birth date item in FHIR. We set year of birth real, but we have to save day of birth and month of birth dummy data. In this situation, we have to use an extension. With extension, we cannot find, okay, just year of birth is real. The another one, our dummy data. Second problem is sometimes some elements are mandatory in OMOP, but there is no relevant value in FHIR. For example, race concept ID. In this position, we made decision to set its default value and no racial group. In a different situation, we have to choose different solution. I list the solution here. Sometimes we have to ignore the resource. We lose the data. Sometimes we set a default value or result of or research is not good. It's not. Sometimes we have to create an extension. Sometimes we have to use a profile instead of normal FHIR resources. There are a lot of details about this mapping. I cannot tell you in this short presentation all of them, but if you need them, come to me, I will give you the more detail about them. I found the code of unit in OMOP is in the bracket, but in FHIR, there is no bracket for unit code. Pay attention. Sometimes you want to find a code in concept table. For example, you need the concept ID, but just a little different, the result is not exist. The last problem, significant problem in this mapping was secondary diagnosis. As I said you earlier, in German data, we have secondary and primary diagnosis. For this purpose, we created an extension. And with fact relationship table in OMOP, we can show the relationship between primary and secondary diagnosis. As you see in this screenshot, the first line shows you condition number 2 is secondary diagnosis of condition number 1. And this code shows you, the first one is the secondary diagnosis. Now turning our attention to open issues. There are some constraints and limitations due to German data model. We cannot document the reason of admission in FHIR. The cause of admission and the reason of admission just partially can be documented in FHIR. And German level of diagnose, surely it is not possible to save in FHIR. We have to use a extension for this purpose. And we lose some information during this mapping too. Name and last name of patient. It is not possible to save in OMOP. There is no field for this purpose in OMOP. Image, it is not possible to save. Just metadata you can insert in the OMOP table. And a status in observation. We don't have any measurement status in OMOP. Finally, I want to introduce you the Miracom project, which we work on. Miracom project is a big project in Germany. At the moment, 10 university hospitals work on this project. The goal is to take advantage of digitalization in medicine to link data and generate medical knowledge. Actually, we want to share our data across 10 university hospitals and use them in different locations, different sites. FHIR to OMOP is a small part of this project. Actually, FHIR to OMOP is essential component in the data integration center. We say this. We released the first version of mapping at the moment, but in the future, we want to improve our code. We want to add new resources, and we want to add new features to mapping. Yeah. Thank you for attention. I'm happy to answer any question you may have. Thank you.
Are you planning to use the German FHIR profiles, the national base profiles, instead of the core?
Recently, it is available. Yeah, they work on, but I think it is better solution for us is to create a profile for Miracom project. Maybe it is better.
Probably derived from the German profiles.
The same question?
No, I had a different question. Maybe start with that. Why do you want to make the transformation to OMOP? What's your purpose with this?
For researching.
For research. Because, for example, the example that you mentioned about there's no place for a name in OMOP, because in research you don't use names.
We don't need.
Why do you want to use the names, for example?
For researching, in our project, we have red and blue area. Okay? In red region, yeah, we have last name, first name, address, and so on. But in the red area, it is forbidden. We cannot use them. Because of this, in Germany, data should say the security of data. Okay? We don't need it.
That's exactly why OMOP says worldwide we have one common data model for all researchers. Let's use that.
Yeah.
And for example, if you choose that, one way of thinking, I would say that what you need in terms of profiles is FHIR to OMOP profiles. So not even German or Dutch or I mean you only need basically you need to be able to have valid resources that are basically have valid transformation to OMOP concept.
Okay.
That would be enough. And basically the differences between these regions, OMOP prescribes a bit these the choices that you have to make the data if you want to make use of the OMOP principle.
Yeah.
But I don't think, did you have this kind of discussion?
I really don't know, but I think.
My choice would have been to skip the names, and then the blue region would be happy and the red a little bit less happy, but okay, that's
Yeah.
I mean, someone has to give in.
On the other hand, we can use analytics tools like Atlas.
I know. But
Yeah.
you can
With
only
the
use it if you
OMOP.
conform to OMOP.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
very pretty strict standard.
Yeah. But yes, I think it is not. Yeah. Please.
I'm just wondering if you were able to compare your mappings to the Georgia Tech project that also did the FHIR to OMOP.
It is OMOP to FHIR. It's not FHIR to OMOP.
That's really?
Yes. Georgia Tech is OMOP to FHIR, but I think it's stupid. Excuse me, sir, but FHIR is very huge platform. Yeah, we have a little data in OMOP. When you want to convert OMOP to FHIR, I think it is a stupid way. We don't need it. We lose a lot of data.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any more question? Thank you very much. Have a nice day.